Well, anti-nuclear demonstrations have congregated outside a polling booth in the Brisbane CBD as voters begin to cast their ballots. Queensland political reporter Harry Clark is there in the electorate of Brisbane. Harry, what are the election issues you're hearing about there?
G'day, Tom. Well, a lot of responses we've had when asking people here at Brisbane City Hall what the issues, the election issues are that are important to them, what's on their mind as they go in to cast their ballot. This is a very central polling booth, probably the most central in all of Queensland, right in the heart of the CBD, King George Square, Brisbane City Hall, and it was an absolute hive of activity throughout the day, especially during the lunch hour when a lot of city workers came out to take advantage of the convenience of voting on day one of pre-polling. There was huge crowds, thousands of people have come through. It's quietened down significantly now, but there was hundreds of people queuing up. It was taking about upwards of 20 minutes to go in and cast your vote at the peak of the lunch rush hour, but at the moment, there's probably more volunteers, political party volunteers, issuing how to vote cards than there are actual voters. But people here at this polling booth could be from anywhere in the electorate of Brisbane, but of course, a lot of city workers, so a lot of absentee votes queuing up here at Brisbane City Hall. There's been a lot of images of democracy, colour, theatre, a lot of placards, representatives from all different political persuasions and parties, trying to encourage people to vote their way as they go into the polling booth. We had protesters. There was a big contingent of anti-nuclear demonstrators. There was a guy pushing around a 44-gallon drum representing radioactive waste, a guy dressed up as Peter Dutton with a sign saying, "I love nuclear," and then a image from The Simpsons, that three-eyed fish that caused a bit of controversy when Dutton announced his nuclear policy some months ago now. Whether that has swayed anybody's votes, that protesting, it's really hard to tell, but this is what the voters told us when we asked them what their intentions were and what the issues were that are important to them.
They're not addressing the real issues as far as I'm concerned. It's more for their short-term gain to stay in power.
For me, it's Labor. I think the 20% tax savings is going to really help.
Election issues is housing, also food and everything, and the cost of living.
Housing and climate action.
And a few familiar, identifiable faces in the crowd here at the Brisbane CBD at King George Square, the polling booth on day one of pre-polling. Some politicians. We were mid-interview with Trevor Evans, who is the LNP candidate for Brisbane, a former MP, now running again. He was alongside Michaelia Cash, Senator from the LNP from Western Australia, who was here supporting Mr Evans' campaign. I was mid-interview with those politicians when we were interrupted by one of those nuclear protesters. Have a look.
With Mr Albanese, he promised you a lot prior to the election. He hasn't delivered on anything.
With the Australian people.
Brisbane needs real outcomes.
Children are going
and
to be
for too long, for 3 years now, the people of Brisbane have had representation by people that have not delivered real outcomes.
And Democracy in Action here, some competing views. So some Democracy in Action there and a few competing views. To balance the ledger, we then went and interviewed Stephen Bates, who is the sitting MP, the Greens MP for the electorate of Brisbane. He was, of course, one of three Greens MP who swept to office in that green slide when Queensland became Greensland at the 2022 election, picking up 3 seats for the Greens party. This is what Mr Bates had to say as he was handing out how to vote cards.
It's pretty positive today. It's really going really well. It's way busier than I think anyone thought it was going to be here at City Hall, given the long weekend and everything. But yeah, people are here talking about the things that matter: climate change, housing, the cost of living. So yeah, it's great having all these conversations with people that are coming through.
You're, of course, part of that stunning green sweep in Queensland. Queensland became Greensland in 2022 when, of course, the Greens party won those 3 inner Brisbane seats, Brisbane as well as Griffith and Ryan. The major parties are coming after you. They're mounting big campaigns here in inner Brisbane. Are you confident in being able to hang on after May 3?
Yeah, and this morning's given me more hope as well, actually. A lot of people coming out saying they're going to support us, people who may not have been supporting us 3 years ago, but are this time. And I think, yes, the major parties are going to come after us, but it makes complete sense that they'll do that. You know, we're a very, very real threat to the power that they've held over this country for almost 100 years now. And that's why we're seeing them attack us so much. It's why we're seeing far-right groups attack us so much, because all these people, all these institutions are worried that they're going to have to start working for everyday people.
So the seat of Brisbane, Tom, will certainly be one to watch as the vote count comes in on May 3. Greens desperate to hang on despite a big push from the major parties. And we'll hear more about the electorate of Brisbane and what the local issues are when Sky News hosts on Thursday afternoon a debate between the candidates, being Stephen Miles and Trevor Evans, who we've just heard from, as well as Madonna Jarrett, the Labor Party candidate for the electorate of Brisbane.